Hey YouTube. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Now is unfortunately not a good time. You see, a security guard went missing here at Freddy's Rave, hosted at the Rail, and I've been called to step in and do some investigating. Now, normally they'd send in a replacement guard, someone to watch the doors, check the rooms, keep things under control. But tonight, they didn't send just anyone. They sent Golden Freddy. Not because it looks good, but because if there's something wrong in this place, something hiding in the dark, you don't just watch it, you make it watch you. See, in the world of FNAF, Goldie isn't just another suit. It's a presence, something tied to unfinished business, to someone who doesn't forget. Some would say, the one you shouldn't have killed. So if there's a trail to follow, if there's something here that doesn't want to be found, then I'm not going through this alone. I'll be stepping in as the night guard, making it through all 5 nights, checking every corner, and keeping an eye on anything that might be watching back. Because if something really did happen to that guard, then tonight isn't just a party, it's a shift, and I intend to finish it.
Got your ticket? I was told I was on the list. They sent us no ticket. Oh, okay. What's the name? Alright, one second. Yeah, you're good. Good?
They're not supposed to get announced, but if you real quick with your ride. Oh, you're good?
Sorry, you're
And they were telling me to go back and forth. Like, that's the craziest thing to see.
Yeah, they all
bothering me. He kept asking me to hold my hand. I kept calling me daddy and granddaddy. All kinds of like, dude, not everyone wants to be friends. Don't I'm fucking sick, bud.
With our first night complete, allow me to give you an update as we head into night 2. A Foxy joined my party as the cameraman. While it's important that I keep my eyes on the surveillance, someone should also be surveillancing me. Perhaps this is what the missing security guard should have done. The animatronics that I've stumbled upon so far are either really animated with great internal programming, or alive, but actually friendly. As of now, I can't imagine that they'd play any part in the guard's disappearance, but I also can't rule it out this early on. Until I have more data, I'm going to play the field, see how far these animatronics can go, and if they're sentient, then I shall soon know what they're really about once they're more comfortable around me. Wish me luck. That was more than likely my first time being in a dance circle. My intention was to tag in one of the lovely ladies, but I couldn't tell the ladies apart from the men. But anywho, huge thank you to Cosplay Raves. For those who see my other major brand collaboration videos, you'll know that a time or two, I've had trouble getting into these spaces. At the Spider-Man concert, that gave me trouble for my filming equipment, and at the Squid Game rave, the doorman claimed he had zero communication about media attendees. Here at the FNAF Rave, this was one of the only times that there was no issue with granting me the access that I was given prior. They said I'd be put on the list, and when I got there, I was on the list with no pushback. So thank you to the staff at the rail for having things run smoothly from the jump, and thanks once again to Cosplay Raves for sponsoring me. Speaking of sponsors, huge shout out to Crafty, the designers of my Golden Freddy head. I like to stand out at the events that I turn up to without making myself too obscure. This is why I went as the front man to the Squid Game Rave and to Empire Strikes Back as Moff Gideon. In the case of the FNAF Rave, I knew everyone would either be either their favorite animatronic, a security guard, or the greatest breakout character from the latest film. So it only made sense that I'd be someone unpredictable, but would stand out by generating that same level of craze. So I went with my only pick, Golden Freddy. There was no other option in my mind. And thank you to Crafty for making it happen. Personally, I think I should have won the costume contest, but I will leave that to you guys in the comment section down below. For now, let's get back to the video. 2 nights down, 3 more to go. While the goal was to get the animatronics more comfortable, I've since become more comfortable with the idea that I can do this, that I can survive all 5 nights. The animatronics, despite not always being the most aesthetically pleasing, I don't know, I guess they have a way of letting you see the potential. I was able to convince a withered Bonnie to join me on the dance floor. That was when I learned that they're certainly alive, probably more so than some people I know. But in showing you just how alive they are, they also show you that your original instinct may still be correct because they're alive and able to get away with more. And I'm not talking about Withered Bonnie, I'm referring to this decoy security guard that very closely follows a marionette puppet looking animatronic. I'll admit, the puppet got to me. They gave me stickers, and I do know better than to let that incentivize me, because isn't that how they get you? I'm typically dabbling in the world of Minecraft, and no matter how many poppies I've seen an Iron Golem give out, it's never meant that they won't floor me if I make a bad move. If anything though, if I am to call that into question, then I have to suss out the decoy as well, just by close association and the fact that there's something odd about him as well. It's very subtle, but that's enough to tell me not to let my guard down. The dance floor is getting louder, more crowded, harder to read, more characters are roaming, some in plain sight, some just outside of it, and when everything starts blending together like that, that's when you miss something. In other words, it's not time to get comfortable, it's time to start checking more carefully.
Whoa, we got very fast there. Look at my outfit. Celebrity. I always wanted to be Freddy.
So, after you've seen the photo of the missing security guard, have you seen him?
I don't think so.
So he's been missing since the race started.
Okay.
So I'm having trouble finding him. There might be a cash prize for whoever finds him.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I haven't found him yet.
I don't think so.
But at least I found you two.
Oh.
Well, things took an unexpected turn during night 3. I don't even think that I was meant to get this kind of attention as Golden Freddy. In hindsight, I think I misunderstood the threat level when it comes to the animatronics. Turns out, not everything here wants to kill you. But what do you know? I was right about the decoy. It is now night 4, and it's story time. Part of my job, as I'm sure you all very well understand by now, is constantly checking up on things. From this room to that room and back. That's surveillance. That's how you ensure that nothing happens right under your nose simply because you think you had quote-unquote just been in there. The decoy seems to have a thing for the puppet, whose name is Marionette. In fact, they're dating. I'm not going to ask how that works or if it has anything to do with spring traps. I'm just going to stay focused on the objective. So anyway, for some odd reason, the decoy didn't like that I kept checking up on Marionette. But I must. She's a Tronic. They're all prime suspects in the disappearance of the security guard, which is the whole reason why I'm here. Which again, might I remind you all, makes him that much more suspicious, not only that he's so comfortable around her, but that he's the one that takes issue to me poking around. If that's not a Class A suspect, I don't know what is, but I kid you not, and this is not me playing a character when I say this, the decoy threatened me. The third, no more than fourth time that I approached Marionette, he literally insisted on her holding his drink so he could fight me. He then started pressing me, asking me who I was. I asked him a question right back, which was, what do you mean? Because am I not Golden Freddy? Or Goldie for short? He starts getting more aggressive because Dad doesn't answer his question. So then he's all, what the F do you mean? I said, who are you? Meanwhile, Marionette's trying to calm him down, get him to chill. Is this a psyop? Animatronics usually stay on the stage and restrict their performances to that area. So are they putting on a stage play so that I feel compelled to side with the animatronics while the decoy is left as the fall guy? Because if so, they're doing one hell of a job. From all the fun, action-packed, and heartfelt interactions I've had with the other animatronics, to one of the only people there that aren't animatronics being the only person that I'm being made not to trust. It's genius. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, as once I was 100% certain that this guy wasn't joking, I turned around and walked away. Didn't say anything, didn't even bother to answer his question. And to be on the safe side, I did actually start avoiding Marionette. But in the same manner in which the game is played, avoiding them with the hope that you don't see them again doesn't mean they won't pop right back up when you least expect. Marionette did all the approaching for the rest of the night. Next time we spoke, she explained to me that the decoy was being dramatic and that he believed that I secretly already knew who she was and that she was in on it. In other words, he thinks Golden Freddy was just a cover so that she can cheat on him right in his face and get away with it. So that does sound clever, but it also sounds crazy, because how far can cheating go if her boyfriend is still near her at all times and I'm spring trapped into an animatronic suit that I can't do much inside of? That is indeed a dramatic story to come up with in your head, and clearly you were drunk too, and it was bringing out all of your jealousy to the forefront. I don't like to make videos to put individual people on the spot, especially when it could be perceived as me personally insulting them. But dude, threatening me, making your girl uncomfortable, and trying to make me uncomfortable in the process crosses a line that I refuse to treat with dignity by giving you the benefit of anonymity. It's all clown behavior, if you ask me. Stick around for an update on this as we head into night 5. We're almost there.
We're waiting every night to find a meeting and time. And push me while we toss, taking years with I say we still in the way, it seems like we lost this simply. And clustered to be left away. Now we're stuck in communicate. We're getting it wrong, we're getting it wrong. We're getting it
Thank you to the team in Carnival. Thank you for the rail, security, bartenders. Everybody, make sure you have all your belongings because y'all know what time it is. Sound guy, you fucking amazing. I love you, bro. I'm coming back over here just for you, bro. Just for the house.
We love you, Jughead! We love you, Jughead!
I didn't know we're gonna see you here. I'm seeing right now.
In a shocking turn of events, I believe that the truth behind the missing security guard has been discovered. But in order to get to that, first I have to include the rest of the story from night 4. Sorry, these nights go by so quick and you only have so much time to rotate, roll the cameras, and get the full story. After the decoy carried himself, and knowing that his girlfriend, the puppet, wasn't feeling it, I decided to play along. So I don't know how the concern began or if it was just from me constantly walking up to her, which was the same thing I did with everyone else, but what I do know is that she herself felt like she knew me. There was some kind of recognition that she couldn't put her finger on. To have some fun with it, I told her that if she thinks we're already familiar with each other, then she can see if she recognizes my heartbeat. That will give her the answer that she's looking for. Feel my heart. I would also take photos and videos of her with him clearly watching from a short distance, and then do the same to him to capture his expressions in 4K.
Is he good, y'all?
Do what?
Is he good, y'all? You just keep on coming to me. You're not even home.
I personally think that was a leveled response, but what do you all think? Was that possibly a step too far? Let me know in the comment section. But based on everything that I've experienced throughout the night, I've come to the conclusion that the decoy security guard is responsible for the missing security guard's disappearance. With the help of the Golden Freddy spirits that have been guiding me as I got warmer, I was able to determine that he created an opening so that he could be united with his puppet and be free with her at their location. That's his motive, and the very reason he felt threatened by our apparent interest in each other. The animatronics are unknowing participants, serving as obstacles that are meant to detract me from making any headline discoveries, as long as I profile them as the suspects. Another reason he felt threatened is that I never answered his question by telling him that I'm the new head security guard investigating the threat, with the help of my own spring trap that is said to be haunted by ghostly animatronics, and connects me with the ones around us. All he knew was that I was an animatronic that he didn't recognize, that his favorite animatronic was curious about, and it sent him into a fridge that showed us who the real suspect was. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play chess in 4D, or should I say 5D for 5 nights. 4, 5, and it is now 6 a.m. We did it. We've survived the rave. Looks like I misjudged animatronics. Ultimately, they were very human, and I think it's because deep down they are. It's within them, and this rave gave them the opportunity to embrace their inner child. While I'm glad the night was filled with enough narrative beats to come up with a cohesive story for this format, I also kind of wish the drama that escalated wasn't real. Unfortunately, it was, and the latest on it is that because of that night, Marionette is no longer dating the decoy. In fact, she's now interested in getting to know me, which begs the question that they both had. Does she know me already or not? Well, that's to be told at a later date. Our first date, to be exact, as I declare publicly that when Marionette and I go on our first date, I will then set the record straight for everyone, as she'll get to feel my heartbeat as I make my way to hers. Now that that's settled, I have to say, that was one hell of a night. The only bad part about it is that it ended an hour earlier than scheduled, so we all ended up going to an after party at a nearby IHOP, where they chanted for me to do a face reveal, and I did, and got the reaction on video. Speaking of which, while the rave was still happening, I actually did record a video of me removing my mask to make out with the Foxy and Bonnie sister duo that did a bit of flirting and dancing on me throughout the night. One of the other ladies in attendance saw it as it was happening and asked me if I was going to use it to do a dream-style face reveal, and my answer was I don't know. The whole night was very empowering under the helmet, and I always thought that putting a face to my brand would actually hinder it instead of going the character route, which can appease everyone more broadly. Because let's be real, humans are visual, and you have to look a particular way in order to please them all. As a branded character, however, there's no bar to raise. However, when I took off the helmet, the empowerment only increased. And I don't think that's just because I look great, but that it also humanized me the way Goldie was able to humanize with the animatronics in the Rave. I got kissed very passionately, might I add, by one of the most beautiful women there. And she literally touched my heart, because her compliment was strongest. She got a peek at my face before the restaurant reveal, was very visibly starstruck by it, and told me that seeing my face felt like having the privilege of seeing hidden lore. Which sounds like the greatest compliment you can get from someone FNAF obsessed. So I think it definitely pays off at times to not always hide behind an animation or a costume. But for the record, my face isn't private anymore, and hasn't been for a couple of years. I mean, I go out in public to do these videos, and I tell people who I am, and then they come here to watch my videos after meeting me. I was actually surprised this time that practically no one saw my face the whole night except for when I took it off to get some lovin'. That's partially thanks to a gentleman that constantly bought water for me so that I wouldn't overheat the damn thing. Huge shout out to him. Thank you to everyone else who gave me a little something during the night as well, from the water, stickers, and even the FNAF game token. I also received a mushroom, which may be a character reference. Either way, you can't beat take-homes. Some of you may now be asking, then why don't you just show your face? Well, I said it works at times. I still believe that if there was a physical appearance regularly tied to my brand, it wouldn't be a net positive to me personally. But I'm prepared to make you all a deal. There's going to be a Patreon cut of this video, and it will feature everything I didn't include in this one, with a similar runtime, so not just a couple of bonus clips, consider it an entire bonus night. My biggest video of 2025 was the Empire Strips Back video, which is currently in a very close race to becoming my most viewed long-form video of all time. If the FNAF 2 Rave turns out to be my biggest video of 2026, doing similar numbers over time, I will throw in the clip of my maskless double makeout session. There's also a 50% chance that I'll do a separate video with my face on there, because one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it is because under the helmet I'm wearing makeup to further conceal my identity so that people can focus on what I'm cosplaying as and not who's doing the cosplay. Kind of like what Batman does, I did the same thing for the Squid Game Rave. That's why you can see my eyeballs but no eyelids. But when the mask comes off, the makeup doesn't look the same as when I first put it on. Like, of course, like it'll kind of like I guess melt downwards, and then it looks very runny. Plus, I was wearing something to tie my hair down as well. So to some people, I may look scarier than the animatronics. So that's the deal. Take it by supporting this video to the fullest, or leave it. I don't believe I've had the face conversation on my channel in a really long time. So thank the attendees of the rave for reigniting that, reminding me to appreciate that side of myself more. I didn't think that being maskless could ever be just as fun as having the mask on. The only thing that went wrong, which is of no fault to anyone, is that I took a few bumps out on the dance floor. One time almost losing an eye, and another time creating a bruise that looks like I boxed and barely won. For the next few days, I'm going to look like Logan after he just got done fighting Mayweather. But once again, huge shout out to Mimar Crafty. They did an incredible job. I got countless compliments throughout the night. People kept asking me about its origins, and I've already received cash offers for it. If you want to see their work or commission them, you can check out their Instagram and Facebook pages in the description. And once again, thank you to Cosplay Raves for sponsoring this video, the Rave for hosting, and of course, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, now streaming on Peacock. Thanks to those three forces, I don't see this night being topped anytime soon, and I hope to do it again for FNAF 3. Question is, who would I dress up as? Time will tell. Just like it'll tell whether or not I'll be able to get over this huge crush I now have on the Bonnie character after the amount of times I connected with a woman in Bonnie cosplay. Until next time, Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Goldie, out.